Imagine that disaster happens on the Apollo 11 mission, and instead of getting to hear Neil Armstrong say the words, one small leap for man, one giant leap for mankind, we instead get to hear Nixon say the words, in ancient days, men looked at the stars and saw their heroes in constellations. In modern times, we do much the same, but our heroes are epic men of flesh and blood. Bill Sapphire, the Sapphire Memo. I would like to thank you all for being able to attend my Zoom meeting. I know many of you are busy with school and work in general, but I'm hopeful that you'll learn something new and possibly learn something useful. Now, as an engineering student, we're often told about failure and the consequences of it. It's something we must be prepared for and also take responsibility for when it happens. The Sapphire Memo encapsulates this idea of failure perfectly. The Sapphire Memo takes responsibility for the, the failure of Apollo 11 and pushes forward what might happen next. While for some, the Sapphire Memo may seem grim, I want to talk about its ideas of hope, unity, and perseverance in the face of failure, no matter its cost. It's hard to understand why the speech is written with these ideas without understanding a little bit about Apollo 11, the mission itself, and the would-be consequences of its failure. As many know, the moon landing was a unifying moment for the nation. It's what put America in first place of the space race. And because millions were watching, news of its failure would spread fast. So, the president needed to have a speech prepared in order to calm the public and also unify them once again. As there would be civil disruption, because people would want to know, why did it fail? What's next? Just general fear and concerns. Besides the general population, it would also help in consoling the would-be widows of the astronauts. That's the point of the Sapphire Memo, to console the public and reiterate what's happening next. Now, the Apollo 11 mission couldn't be seen as a waste, and the astronauts' launch to the moon be forgotten. The speech solved this by honoring the astronauts Neil Armstrong and Aldrin Aldrin and their choices to explore the unknown of space, excite its dangers. Now, the speech honors their efforts and makes their choices to do this as the betterment and improvement of mankind. With this event stirring the world and brightening the brotherhood of man more tightly. Of course, Nixon also goes on to say there will be more who go to the moon and more that will find their way home. Nixon essentially saying that America isn't giving up and they will try once again. And as the speech honors the astronauts and calms the nation, it also pushes forward what the next step is. The next step is to try again, learn from the mistakes from before, and see what they can do. The speech shows that no matter what, one must prepare for the worst. There is still a success to be had after failure, and it isn't the end. To succeed, you need to prepare for failure, even if it seems unlikely to happen or it's unfavorable. As the Sapphire Memo was sent halfway through Apollo 11's mission by Bill Sapphire directly to the president, in order, in case of a failure, preparation for a failure that would be disastrous. Now, no matter how bad a failure is, there's something that can be learned from it and improved upon. That is also one of the aims of the speech, to improve upon NASA and the Space Force in order for a disaster like this to never happen again. Thankfully, Apollo 11 was a successful mission, and Nixon was able to read a more kind-hearted speech that day, though many feel that if Nixon had to read this speech, it would have been more of his more eloquent ones. I would like to thank you all for listening to me present the Sapphire Memo, its ideas of unity, hope, and persevering no matter the cost. And I would like to say, though we may face failures of our own and setbacks in life, let's continue on and become our own heroes in the stars. Thank you. Are there any questions or concerns? None from the audience? All right. Thank you.